Zelda's 35th anniversary is coming up next year, and Matt, our resident Zelda expert, has high hopes and expectations for what might come. Will we get a bundle of Zelda games like Super Mario 3D All-Stars? Maybe a remastered Skyward Sword? Or will we get our pie-in-the-sky wish of a Breath of the Wild 2 release? That's what we want to talk about this week on the Free Play Podcast.
You are listening to the Free Play Podcast with Bubba Stallcup, Matt Warmbier, and Kate Katawaki, part of the Love Thy Nerd Podcast Network.
What's up, nerds? My name's Bubba Stallcup, and you're listening to the Free Play Podcast, part of the Love Thy Nerd Podcast Network, and on the LTN radio station.
LTN Radio! Swing!
Matt, I was talking with Coker, and he loves that so much. He's like, I'm going to cut that, and that's going to be one of our station ID tags.
Oh, my gosh. Okay.
That's brilliant.
You're welcome.
So we've got Matt Warmbier here with us.
Hey, what up? Oh, sorry, what did you do?
And also Kate Katawaki.
Hello.
These are a couple of my co-founders and co-hosts here at Love Thy Nerd. And so, yeah, we're on a radio station, which if you don't know, you haven't heard about it, just go to ltnonair.com, or you can go and download the Live 365 app on your mobile device.
Mobile telephone, yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
your cellular. And I don't think it works on flip phones, but you can.
No. There's a new flip phone. The new Razor has a flip phone. Did you? No, I'm not even kidding.
Oh yeah. It's like a.
I
it's
didn't
like a
see
real
it.
phone. Yeah,
It's a screened phone, but it folds in half.
yeah, yeah. You're right. So try it on your Razor.
Your new Razor.
or-
We spent
we don't-
$5,000 on it.
We don't have a Walkman app yet. We're working on it.
It's coming soon. It's
coming soon. We've got some interesting and exciting vinyl and cassette options for you.
Don't tease me.
Hold your breath as long as you can for that. We'll see which one works faster. Matt's already he's ready for it.
Yeah.
Matt is all in. I said cassettes, and Matt's like, you have my attention. Like he was doing something else, and he perked up. Did someone say cassettes?
He loves cassettes.
I do.
Loves
I
them.
need a new cassette player for my office here. I used to have a record player that had, this is very high tech here. It was a vinyl record player with cassette, with CD, with Bluetooth. I almost said Blu-ray.
Oh.
Bluetooth. So
that is like a new.
So then what's the
thing.
point of listening to the record if it's just going to be
records are
Bluetooth?
supposed to be better for your ear holes. And I that sounds weird.
Because
but
of how bad they are?
No, I think I've heard that
the
too.
pops and the way they're made, it's supposed to be there's some science about it like that. They're supposed to be better for listening.
But you know that was probably that quote unquote science was probably put up by somebody who worked in the vinyl industry, and they're like,
No.
why does it sound so bad? And they're like, no, it's cool, it's good for you.
Yeah,
Like,
it's good for you.
It's better.
Say it.
Yeah, everybody needs a little trash in their ears. It's keeps you honest. So while Matt's looking that up,
You can
make
hear
sure
him
that you go
typing. You can hear him.
clickety-clack.
Okay, 4 reasons why vinyl is better for you than MP3. Okay, you ready?
The first reason is because.
It should be a dot
Vinyl. I have not read this, just by the way.
Yeah, this is where's this from?
This is from Vox.
What's the website?
Vox.
Fox.
Vox.
Oh, Vox, not
Vox
Fox.
Rocks,
I
yep.
thought it was gonna be like NPR.org.
Vinyl improves your taste in music. Okay.
How is that proven?
That is subjective.
Hold on, please.
Yes.
Buying
continue,
records
please.
is an experience.
Okay.
Okay, here's number
Please
3.
continue.
I'm gonna give you the next 2. We're gonna go back to 3 as far as I can tell. Vinyl
Yeah, why not?
sounds better.
How?
You can make
Okay,
money.
sorry.
That's number 4. So number 3. Sorry, friends.
What?
This one isn't up for debate. I'm sorry, dispute. Vinyl sounds better than MP3 ever could. Most of the music is broadcast in some Lucy format, or is that Lossy? I don't know. Lucy?
Loosey goosey.
Lossy. Is that Lucy?
It's Lossy.
Lossy format, where details are missed and the overall quality is reduced. It happens because audio files get compressed to make them small enough to store thousands of them on the phone and to stream online. Regardless, whether you listen to music on a streaming service like Apple Music or prefer MP3 or even the radio, you can't get the full picture of that track. Vinyl is far more high quality. No audio data is lost when pressing a record. It sounds just as great as a producer or band intended.
But you can only listen.
My case.
You can only listen to records like a certain amount of time before they get, wrecked from being played so many times.
Then you move on.
What? No.
You're done. That's the record saying you don't need to listen to me anymore.
You're done. Hey, that was
natural.
That was just 4 of the reasons. If you have more reasons, send all
those are
emails
not
to Bubba at lovethynerd.com.
Please.
I'd love to hear them, or find us on
Hit
Twitter.
us up on
An old Twitterverse. You know what? No, if we're talking vinyl, you send me a letter to beep.
Fax it to me. Yeah.
There you go.
Send it over on the dinosaur if you don't mind.
Yep.
Well,
I mean, we have a radio station and that plays MP3s and they're dope. And I make MP3s on the regs and they're dope. I don't understand the technology in a vinyl record or in record making at all. I think, like, legitimately speaking, that people have been burned at the stake for far less witchcraft than what goes into making a vinyl record. And everybody's like, oh, it's the waves and it's all that. But like, how does it know? That's what I want to know. How does it know?
It's weird. But honestly, you think about, like, how did it read a CD? That also is just weird to me.
That makes way more sense to me.
Yeah. Then, like, because if you look at the first vinyl records, like, they would press it into wax on top of, like, a tin can lid. Like,
yes.
Ridiculous, like,
I don't know how to do
I don't
that.
know. I don't get it.
How do you know that, like, the optimal speed, like this, that's the witchcraft of it all. Now we have computers that do this stuff. When people do it, it should freak you out.
I have a friend who makes records, and that's his job.
Well, let's get on the podcast.
Okay,
well,
weird flex.
here's what I'll tell you about that, about what he told me about records. Nothing. Just that he cut his hand really bad, and he couldn't go to work for like 3 weeks.
The blood was used for the ritual to get the music onto the vinyl.
It was a Chicago record, so yeah.
Maybe. But his hand was bandaged for like a real long time, and he couldn't go back to work.
Yeah, that's the needle. That's the needle part of it.
The needle part?
I just
Okay, thanks for sharing that. You want to go back to eating your mangoes? I cannot believe you are eating those right now.
What do you mean?
We just talked about this.
They're going to ruin your jaw.
No, they're not. I have a system now.
So for those of you who don't know what I'm talking about, and that's everybody, because we just had this conversation. So 3 of us. Kate has this bag of mango, like freeze-dried mango.
They're not free.
What are they?
They're just dried. They're dried.
They're just dried. Like, okay, so the bag, this is from, again, a Costco product. The bag says naturally delicious dried mangoes, Philippine brand, 35 mangoes per bag.
Brand. You didn't tell me that.
And let me tell you, these mangoes are amazing. They are next level delicious. But the thing is, if you eat a bunch of them and you just chew them and you don't really think about it, you might end up chewing all on the same side of your mouth. And then the next day you wake up and your jaw hurts there because you have mango jaw.
It's diagnosable.
Oh,
it's
an epidemic called mango jaw, where your jaw hurts from chewing too many mangoes on the same side.
Mm-hmm.
Now, before you think, Kate, this is just you. It's just you that does this. Well, I told my dad about mango jaw, and he said, you know what? I ate a lot of mangoes the other week, and after that, my jaw hurt, so I think I had it too.
So I think at best it's hereditary. I don't think that this is like a nationwide issue. And she put another one in. She's
why don't
just
you
a little
eat
piece,
fresh mangoes?
Too much work. I told you I have 3 bags of mangoes, different types of mangoes in the house
at any given moment
in the house right now.
Steven, any mangoes in here?
He's eating mangoes in the other room.
There's these dried mangoes.
Or is he not allowed to touch mangoes?
Oh no, he eats them too, but he's never had mango jaw. But I don't know. I think he might be
good
not
chewing method. Yeah.
I don't know.
He's got nice teeth, that guy.
Maybe he doesn't eat as many.
The trick
at
is
one
to use
time
both
as me.
sides. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's why when you said, why are you eating it? I put the first bite on the right side and the second bite on the left side, and you just alternate, and you won't get mango jaw. You can
or you don't eat a whole bag at a time. Like,
okay, there's...
I
they
mean,
go down
there's
really
semantics
easy,
here.
okay?
There's semantics. This is ridiculous. Bubba, don't do this to her.
There are only 35 whole mangoes in
35
the bag.
mangoes
So
to
what do you want to do? Not eat the whole thing? I mean, jeez.
You want them to go bad?
Yeah. They're already dried.
Here,
You know?
look. Since Matt read about records, I'll read about mangoes.
Okay.
For centuries,
Can't
the
wait.
region of Cebu, that's in the Philippines, warm, sultry
Naboo?
climate. No.
Go ahead.
Warm, sultry climate and fertile soil has been ideal for propagating the most delicious mango variety. This original, because it was in all caps, brand dried mango has a non-acidic, sweet, and delightful texture that is unmatched.
Ooh. Unmatched. I like that game. I might have to try those.
Okay, yeah, I'd go for it.
Yeah, you
Unmatched.
You got us in.
So just for everybody that, because Aprilyn was saying her jaw hurt,
Yep.
she didn't eat mangoes. She ate, what are those Italian cookies called? The coffee cookies?
Baguettes.
No.
Macaroons.
No. My grandpa eats them.
Oatmeal raisin cookies.
No, my grandpa dips them in his coffee. I forget.
Biscotti.
Biscotti.
Yes, biscotti.
Yeah.
She ate a bunch of those, and then her jaw was hurting at the meeting today. And I said, I think you might have mango jaw, but I didn't call it mango jaw at the time because I hadn't come up with mango jaw.
Well, hey, want to say thank you to Costco for not sponsoring this segment of the Free Play
Giving
Podcast.
free weeks here.
Just handing them over.
Okay, next week we won't mention it.
I cannot. Yeah, I'm not willing to put that out there because I don't think that that's true. Well, hey, we're going to take a short break, and when we come back, we're going to tell you some of the games that we're playing. So stick with us right here on LTN Radio or your podcast listening device or way of choice, and we'll be right back with more Free Play Podcast.
Can't wait.
What up, nerd? We hope you're enjoying the podcast. But did you know that Love Thy Nerd showcases most of their content on LTN Radio first? That's right. Check the schedule and listen to most of our shows before they're available here over at ltnonair.com. And while you're streaming, you'll also hear the best mix of Christian rock, rap, pop, and indie, and even some content made exclusively for our radio listeners. Stream directly from ltnonair.com or download the Live 365 app and favorite LTN Radio. And let us become your new daily soundtrack. You'll be glad you did.
Well, we're back with more of the Free Play Podcast,
How about
and
time?
oh, jeez.
Oh my gosh.
You were like perched, like a puma, like ready to pounce.
How long were you waiting to say that? Is my
It just
question.
came to me. It just came to me.
I don't know. You
almost 24 hours, actually, for being real.
Yeah, most of my words I don't think about them before they come out of my mouth.
You look like you'd been planning it though.
No, that's
The
part
way
of
you
that's part of
the
it,
way
you
you
know?
were sitting
No,
looked like.
Not
Hey,
Matt.
welcome back to the Free Play Podcast.
Okay.
We're doing it.
It's good. I like that. And what we are doing is we're going to be talking about the games that we're playing. So if this is your first time with us here on LTN Radio at ltnonair.com or the Live 365 app or Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever you find us. If this is your first time with us, we like to talk about the games that we've been playing. And I guess you like it too, because if this is not your first time,
I mean, no one's
You keep coming
complained,
back.
so
well,
that we know of.
maybe not publicly, yeah, but yeah, Matt's got a whole inbox full of
I'm saving you all.
complaints.
You're welcome.
Yeah, I only read the constructive compliments. But we want to talk about the games that we've been playing to hopefully encourage you to play some really dope games and also to hear back from you on the Twitterverse at Free Play Podcast to hear what you've been playing so that maybe we will play it. 9 times out of 10, it's really just to give Kate the next game to beat and dominate because
I
that's
need
how
the
she
help.
operates.
I need the help. So
Well, we'll see. Kate, why don't you help the fine people and tell them what you've been playing?
yeah. Well, as you may or may not know, I've been playing a lot of Telltale games.
I did know that.
Yeah, go on.
All right. I forgot that I had Guardians of the Galaxy Telltale's Guardians of the Galaxy.
When did you forget? Because it was on the list last week and you didn't want to talk about it.
No, because I was saving it for this week.
Oh.
To talk about, because I've beaten like
Save
so
it
many
for
games, I have
Buckeye.
to spread it across episodes, always have something to talk about.
I don't have that problem.
No, well, whenever it came out a couple years ago, I bought it, played half of one episode, and said, I don't like it. So I thought, well, you know what? I'm going to revisit it. It was all right.
Your opinion didn't change.
My
Okay,
opinion
cool,
didn't
got it.
change. It was all right. Like, it wasn't terrible, but it wasn't so engaging that I'm like, what happens next? Oh my gosh, I need to know. I'm going to play the next episode right now.
Was that one
It
of the
wasn't-
first ones?
No.
No, huh? They had
Don't
to
ask me.
they had to do a couple in order to get the Marvel license.
Oh, okay.
It was okay. Like, if you want something to take up your time,
On a scale from 1 to Wolf Among Us,
3.
how would you rate it?
And
3.
Wolf Among Us is like off the charts.
No, Wolf Among Us has to be 10 because that's the scale.
Okay, then yeah, 3.
Okay.
It just and it was also hard because your gut instinct is to compare the game to the movie. So the characters look
Okay.
different, the voices are different.
How much 80s music did you have in there?
There was a lot,
Okay, good.
so there was
Good.
that, but Steven was watching me and he's like, that doesn't look like Drax or any of these guys. Only Groot's the only one that looks the
Is
same.
Rocket supposed to be a raccoon or like a rat? I can't tell.
He's a raccoon.
Gross.
He
It
still
was a
looks
joke.
like
Oh my gosh.
he still looks like a raccoon. Well, I don't know. I can never tell with you.
It's pronounced Trash Panda, but thank
well.
you.
Your like advanced age could mean anything. So I beat that and checked it off the list. I played a game that was on my backlog that I forgot about. Then for October, I started Telltale's Walking Dead.
Which one?
Telltale's Walking Dead season 1.
Which one? Oh, there we go.
and
Got
season,
it.
Oh.
and season 2. I played through season 1 and season 2.
Are you
How long did
counting-
it take you?
Go ahead.
Well, you want to rock, paper, scissors or leg wrestle for
No,
for
I'll
it?
pick who goes first. Okay, Bubba,
Okay.
you can go first.
Okay.
So, how long did it take you to get through season 1? Do you remember?
A week, probably.
Okay. How often were you playing it though? Like what was the frequency? Because I've tried to play through even just season 1 and I find myself reaching like a decision fatigue point where it's like I
Yeah.
can't just binge the
Why don't
game.
you just tell me where to go?
No, for season 1, I would play one episode at a time.
Okay.
So there
like
was
per day or
Well, there was 5 episodes. So I'd play one per day-ish or one every other day
okay.
for about a week. The second one I barreled through and then felt some decision fatigue and I was just like, it was just intense. So I've been taking a break from it.
Yeah.
Can I ask a question now?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Forgot. Sorry.
Well, that already is a question.
Are
so
you
next.
counting these as the games you've beaten for the year?
Yes, but not per season because it's all on one disc. So I'm just going to count The Walking Dead whole thing as one game, I guess.
So
Oof.
if I play the
Oh,
Choose
really?
Your Own Adventure, if I play
Go
the
ahead,
Choose
Matt.
Your Own Adventure board game, can I count that as reading a book?
No.
There's a lot of reading in that. I
Well,
think
you know
can.
what? Here's what
you.
will determine it. When I look it up on the app that Frost told me about that helps me track my games, if they are all listed individually, the seasons,
They are.
all right, then each one's a game.
Yep. Because you have to download them separately.
Yeah, when it first came out, you had to download
purchase.
them separately, and each one is like, I don't know, one whole season's probably 12 hours.
Yeah, legitimately, they are different games. It's a continuation of the same storyline, but season 1, 2, 3, and
Well, all right then.
4.
Max?
Well,
Are there 4?
there's 4 seasons, and then there's another like
Michonne.
yeah. So, well, that's great news for me then.
Yep.
Add that to my list.
I count
And
as one.
nope, too late now. They're all separate. They're all separate. I have been reading comic books. You might be shocked. I'm shocked.
Gasp.
No way.
Kate, what?
You?
I know. I've never
Not
read.
like
I've
this.
never read a comic book before in my life.
You've
but I was.
never read one comic.
Okay,
book.
now that's
no,
unbelievable.
I've never
That's a
read.
lie.
No, it's not. I've never read one comic book.
She's read more than one. That's
No.
like the caveat.
Well, now I've read more than one because I'm reading the Fables series because I was so intrigued by The Wolf Among Us that I just had to know like where this came from. So
And
You like it?
I love it. some
Okay.
weird and wild
have you read?
stuff in there. What'd you say?
How many have you read?
50.
Holy jeez, Kate.
Out of how
Do you
many?
do anything like halfway or?
No.
Oh, gosh.
Well, it's not over yet. There's 150 total, so I'm only a third of the way through.
What's wrong with you? You're not done yet? You're
No.
ridiculous. You even
I'm not
trying?
done. I'm not trying.
When
I'm
I
not
was
done
reading
yet.
The Walking Dead, and I was reading it much like Kate's reading them online.
Yeah,
When
they're
I was
online.
reading The Walking Dead, I did the same thing. I just binged. I mean,
Oh.
just
They
I
just
had
they
to,
just
like,
they
do
just
plowed
go so
through 'em.
fast. They go so fast, and you're dying to know what's next. So then all you have to do is click, and then the next one comes
Like a
right
soap
up.
opera.
it's just like right there.
Yeah,
Just waiting.
maybe I'll read The Walking Dead after this.
When I read The Walking Dead, I had
It's
to
a trip.
take breaks. I was like, oh, this is just so like
It's heavy.
depraved. Yeah. I was like,
Yeah,
so
it's heavy.
Wow.
I
Okay,
didn't
that
finish
sounds
it.
great. I'll read it.
I didn't finish it. I think like we were in season 4 or 5 of the like the TV series, and I think I had caught up with kind of where it was in the Negan kind of situation with Walking Dead, and so like that's when I couldn't answer what was next, then that was kind of when I stopped.
Well, that's what I've been up to. Matt, what have you been playing?
Well, not a ton. The plan was this past week to stream Genshin Impact. And that was the plan going into Wednesday of last week. I was like, I'm gonna stream that. I told everyone I would. I heard how I love it, Breath of the Wild vibes. And Bubba was getting in, he was kind of changing the overlay, and I like started it up and found that Margot, my eldest daughter, had started a log on my profile, which I personally, she asked me if she could because she couldn't play online.
This is on PlayStation, by the way.
It's on PlayStation, yeah.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, that's fine. Like, I just thought like, different profiles under the same profile on the PlayStation.
Makes
Be
complete
fine.
sense,
Makes
right?
sense. That's
Yeah.
usually how it is. So I get into it and I was like, oh, it didn't give me an option to like restart it. So like, let's see here. Digging around. Like, okay, I'll just delete the game and come back into it. Bubba's like, no, don't delete the game.
Yeah, this is
Figure it out.
dangerous.
Figure it out. So
Delete
got
your
online.
child's game.
Yeah, if you want to hear Margot say, I hate you, delete the
She'd
game.
been fine.
I hate you.
So like I got online, I was like, okay, there's no obvious way like just to delete a game or a profile. So I got online and you have to email the company. And that
That's
wasn't going to
oops.
happen 30 minutes before we were streaming. So
Did you even try?
No, I didn't try because I know how people work.
Yeah.
They
Well,
look
maybe
at
these
messages and
Genshin
like, I'll do that
Impact-
later.
Maybe these
I'll do it
people
later.
are different. You didn't even let them have a chance.
I know.
Nope.
It's okay. It's okay. So
They're probably sleeping. It's in China,
Oh,
like
that's
legit.
yeah, they're
true.
sleeping. Yeah, it wasn't time. I just
Sleepy
didn't. I
times.
wasn't going to put any faith in them getting back to me in the next 30 minutes.
Have a
to
little
start my own
faith.
game.
Have a little
So I
faith.
was like, all right, quickly, Bubba, let's scour the cheap section on the Switch Online. And we looked for like maybe 15 minutes. And we're like, okay, well, let's go and check out Xbox Game Pass. I have 3 free months of it. We're looking. Only the first page will load. We're showing like most popular spoopy games. Like you might like this if you like games. And I was like, I don't know what to choose. Like I just had like there weren't many good options for what we were trying to go here on stream.
So were you just paralyzed?
And you were kind of limited as to what you could actually
Very
choose.
limited. So I finally
It wouldn't
like,
let you choose anything past the first page. Like,
Yeah, well,
it just wouldn't load.
That's so
there's like 20
sad.
games to choose from. And I finally just like I had seen this game on the Switch online shop, and I saw it here on the Game Pass page, and I was like, all right, Ink and Fell, that's the one. That's when we're playing. So like it downloaded quickly. We were ready to go.
Oh, yeah.
I had absolutely no idea what I was getting into at all. It is this kind of top-down,
Mm-hmm. Cutesy.
yeah, like
It looks like Pokemon to
Yes.
begin with. Like you're
Yeah.
like traveling like old school Pokemon.
What I forgot to mention was
There we go.
this is
Buckle
my
up.
first computer game I've ever played.
I love the way you mentioned that. It's my first computer.
Well,
Yeah,
I
wow.
played,
Congratulations.
I played, what's that Star Wars game, Knights of the Old Republic? I played that.
Yeah.
And I used to play like City of Heroes. So I was like, I had done it a little bit. Like this is my first foray into like my own game. So get into the game, and my brain goes to WASD to move around. Like that's what I'm thinking here. Like that's
as any true PC gamer would.
Right. I don't know many games.
Computer gamer.
Oh yeah, computers.
Computer gamer. Yeah, computer gamer. I don't know many games that have come out after 1995 that don't use those to move around. Okay.
All right.
So I'm like pressing buttons, and I'm like I could not move.
So at this point, everyone's watching you on stream?
Yeah, I'm on stream.
This is
happening.
We're live.
This is happening here, and I'm pressing the buttons. I'm like, well, maybe like they just moved it over like a little bit. So maybe I'm just trying the next one. I'm trying the whole keyboard practically. And I'm like, I don't know what's going on. So I close the game out. I come back into it. I'm like, I'm sorry, everyone. You might just get like a solo podcast here with just Matt talking to himself for 2 hours.
Yeah, Matt invites Aaron into the room.
It was like,
come talk to me.
I was like, yeah, Aaron, just come hang out with me, please. Let me talk to somebody. And it just dawned on me, like, well, what if this game uses the arrow keys? And it did. So it was like backwards. Like my right hand is not meant for moving.
It's not a movement
things.
hand.
No, it's not a movement hand. This is an action hand.
Oh,
it's a do stuff hand.
My left is the move around hand. Okay, this is like an age old thing. People know that.
Yeah.
So I figured it out finally, and like it is a turn-based style game. You're a witch who's just becoming a witch, and she's getting these fire powers, but it's like. It's got like a tactical like feel to it. So if you get into an encounter, like each of your spells, powers, like they hit different areas of the ground. So you're moving on in this area, trying to like hit people. I don't know. I just don't think it's a game I would play while I'm streaming. But Kate, you should.
But you did.
I looked it up, and it looks cool. Like
See?
I might.
It's real, Katie. It's real, Katie.
It looks. I like the vibe just from what I've read.
You might like it.
Yeah, and the reason that you would like it the most is the save mechanic.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Why are you making fun of it? Because
no, you have to pet a cat in certain areas to save the game. Yeah. So like these cats are just lounging around, and you're like, oh, look at this cat. Bet I could pet it.
I thought you were going to make a joke about how I was triggered by the save mechanic in Golf Story. I don't even remember what it was, but I couldn't save. I couldn't save it.
Yeah.
No. This is a good one. This is.
Yeah, that was better than the rejected save mechanic, which was to empty the cat's litter box. And so,
my dog.
All right, well, I'm a fan of this. I'm gonna look it up.
Okay.
On my Switch.
Good luck.
All right, thanks.
The last thing I'll mention was we had a youth camp out at church. I went with Avon, and we played a bunch of like silly, youth games, marshmallow baseball, paper rock scissors tournaments.
Rock paper scissors, you mean?
Just playing all the hits here.
Yeah, well, there's more to that, but I'll just go on to my main point.
No, in Kentucky, it's paper, rock, scissors. Yeah.
Oh.
What do you say? Rock, paper, scissors?
Yeah.
Yeah, rock, paper, scissors.
Paper, rock, and scissors.
You were saying paper, rock, scissors.
Rock and roll, paper, delay.
Anyways, we played Capture the Flag, and I thought it'd be a really good time for me to bust out my flying squirrel outfit.
When's not a good time.
And how were you received?
Well, it was very warm. I slept in it. Everyone really loved it. And I checked with Avon before, I got it on. I was like, hey, you going to be okay? Like, are you going to be embarrassed if I wear this? He's like, oh, no, it's fine. It's just you. That's just how
he should have been embarrassed. Kid's 13 years old.
He's 12, so he's not quite there yet.
Okay. He's fine.
He's got a little time. I made the mistake, though, because this was like nighttime Capture the Flag with glow sticks. The squirrel suit is all white, so I was having a real hard time being sneaky.
Yeah. So you weren't a sneaky, snacky squirrel?
I was like a small moon, just kind of like running around there.
But you still won. You dominated.
No, we didn't. They cheated, man. They cheated. They like, you had to put it was a big glow stick. Each team had a big glow stick that was their own. They were trying to protect. And the rule was put it in a place that is, reachable, like you actually can get to it. Mm-hmm. They put theirs on top of a sign on the church building that like there was absolutely no way that I could even get it. two of the dads were guarding ours. I was like another dad that was out, like, trying to get it. And there may have been one more dad, but I was the tallest person out there. And like, I tried to be sneaky and, tell them I was going to jail. And like maybe just hopefully just like running and grabbing it. But like, I couldn't jump and get it. Like I'd have to have someone on my shoulders to get it. And then after the game, one of the tall youth, like he jumped 4 times and finally got it. He's like, see, I could get it. I was like, it took you 4 times. You have 2 people guarding this sign. There is absolutely no way anyone was getting that at all. And
so what were the kids doing during all this when the dads were playing
doing?
capture the flag?
They were running too, like tagging, hiding in the bushes and whatnot.
They were playing Quidditch, just running
hiding in the bushes.
You're
Yeah,
always
so
there.
after we found out we couldn't reach ours, we threw ours down in like this pit
The
area.
bottom of a well.
In a pit.
It kind of was, yeah. It had these steps leading down to what probably led to the basement of the church. So we're like,
What is happening?
There's only one way down. Just throw it down there.
This is
They ended up-
terrifying.
They won.
And they got it.
Yeah, and then they got it. That's all I've been playing, Bubby.
Oh man, I can beat that. Yeah. I had the opportunity. So Matt's doing squirrel campouts, living in the wilderness, and our youth group also at our church had a fall retreat the same weekend. And so I was given the opportunity to lead a game room because this is my life now. And I kind of struggle with that. If I'm being real, like we'll get invited places, Anna and I will. And they're like, hey, come over and let's hang out, or, come have dinner at the house or whatever. Even if they come over to our house, I'm like, do they want to play games? Like, is that what people want when they hang around with us? Like, is that who we are? Is this our lot in life? So I might bring like 6 games and then like never even mention them at all. I'll just put them on the table and then we'll start hanging out. But I got invited. I was already on the tech team to help out our tech director at our church to, kind of run camera and do some tech stuff for the actual event. And it was dope. Like, it was freaking awesome. I went back and watched the stream. It just looks so good. It's so polished. We talked about it last night at Life Group. It's just amazing. But we had the opportunity to run a game room. And I say we, and I mean me, myself, and I ran this game room.
All y'all.
I brought my whole purple Geek On backpack full of games and my entire big blue suitcase full of games as well. So I probably brought 30 games. And we had about 100 people. There were like 300 people at the camp.
Holy smokes.
And so about 100 people came through the game room.
Wow.
And I just want to say right now, big ups to Big G Creative. Like, whoop, whoop, shout them up, pump them up, raise the roof, all this stuff for creating games that I do not have to teach.
I love that so much.
It's like, I can just say, hey, here's Megamouth. And they're like, oh yeah, I get this game. Or, hey, here's Bye Felicia, or, hey, here is, Who's the Goat? And they can just play the games and it's fine. We actually just got in, I was telling you guys yesterday, we just got in the, craft, what is it called? The craft something,
Services.
I forget.
Craft services.
So it's the craft, it's the Kraft Heinz, or the Heinz Craft, I can't remember, variety pack. And so it's got a ketchup bottle game in it. That's like, it's basically a Farkle.
Oh,
so you get
yeah.
You get 3 rolls. That game's a blast. We played that last night, and you have to like hit 57 exactly because it's Heinz 57.
Heinz 57. It's all coming together now.
Yeah, and so
I get it.
Yeah, and so like you got to get that, and then there's also like a Jello matching game, but it's kind of like slapjack. So like, there are like I think there are 6 different like Jello jiggler shapes and colors, and so like you draw. Everybody's like poised and ready with their hands up, and you draw a card, and it'll say like right hand lemon or something like that, and then you have to be the first one to slap that card, and then you get it. And you have to be the first person to collect all of them, and if you hit the same color that you already have, you lose it. But what's really funny is that one of them is not right hand, left hand, it's jiggle. And so it might be jiggle, lime. And so like everybody's like jiggling back and forth, like just getting ready, like we started doing that before anybody read anything, just in case it was jiggle, So like what was really great is that we started playing it with the kids, and then the adults saw us playing it and they're like, I want to play this. What's going on? So then you've got like 12 people huddled around, a table, just like jiggling back and forth, just waiting for somebody to call something. And then there's also a macaroni game, macaroni and cheese game where you're kind of like trying to match things up. And so like, it's like, I had a lot of other things to say. I just really want to focus on Big G Creative because I think that I have had the most like legitimate fun. Like fun. Sometimes games aren't fun, like it just, you get so caught up in the strategy that you just forget that you're having fun. I've had the most fun playing Big G Creative games in the last, year and a half, probably. From a company, like one specific company. So go check them out. This is not a sponsorship. They just keep sending us games to try and talk about, and I love it. I'm here for it all day long. And I think that you guys should go get them. You can get all of their games at Target. So just like,
Ooh-wee.
Go and get, and everything's like $20, $25. Like it's really affordable. So great. And then like my favorite game that they make is Bob Ross Art of Chill. Like that game is just choice. You're trying to paint better and faster than Bob Ross. It's so good. It's so good. But hey, and other games we played as well. But those are just some of the games that we've been playing, and some of the games that Kate has been ripping into tiny little pieces as she moves at breakneck speeds through games.
I'm just enjoying myself. I got to balance all my schoolwork with something a little, different.
I don't know how you are in a master's program and also like beating all these games. Like, I don't understand that life.
I think I've beaten more games since being in the master's program than before.
And doing really well at your master's program.
I don't want to brag, but I'm killing it.
You do want to brag. At every given moment, you want to brag.
Because I love school, so that's why.
Gross. So let us know what you've been playing. Hit us up on Twitter at Freeplay Podcast. And just tell Kate what the next game she needs to beat is.
Yeah, just let me know. I'm making a list.
She's on PlayStation, so she doesn't mind purchasing games.
PlayStation and Switch.
PlayStation.
Hey, we're going to take a short break, but when we come back, we're going to be exploring Zelda's 35th birthday coming up next year and some of the things that we think should happen as a part of the celebration. And all that and more right here on LTN Radio. So stick with us. After this short break, we'll be back with more of the Free Play Podcast.
We here at LTN Radio know that not everybody is nerdy in the same ways, and you might find yourself in a situation where you hear a word or a phrase that you've never seen before and have no idea what it means. Well, have no fear. I'm here to help. Today's term is sonic screwdriver. This item is found in the world of Doctor Who. In fact, the sonic screwdriver has been in the hands of our beloved hero for nearly every incarnation the Doctor has held. For those unfamiliar with the nearly 6-decade-old Time Lord-focused TV series, early on in the show, back in the first year, Sonic Drive-Ins were celebrating their 10th anniversary by hyping their multitude of drink options, something they're still famous for today. In a promotional product placement, the Doctor would pop off into a pocket dimension where Sonic's drink craze also included some adult beverages. It became his go-to gimmick every time a crisis arose that needed some extra thinking power. The promotion was so popular that it has continued to this very day. Every time the Doctor is in a jam, the Doctor puts his or her hand in the inner jacket pocket where the pocket dimension is kept, using the Time Lord bigger on the inside technology to retrieve his trusty sonic screwdriver to calm his nerves. For the record, part of Sonic's secret menu is the sonic screwdriver, though it only consists of orange juice and Sprite. No vodka is available in our dimension, but why not pop by your local Sonic and order one anyway? Enjoy! Hope this helps. Come back next week for another nerdy definition. Are you guys sure that was right?
Well, welcome back to the Free Play Podcast. My name's Bubba, and I am joined with Matt Warmbier and Catherine Katawaki, as she's known in the streets. El Catrine?
Almost.
Yeah, Katrina.
El Catrine? Yeah. That's like her Mexican mafia name, El Catrine.
Catrine.
Yeah, you figured it out.
Well,
It wasn't hard.
it's on your business
It
card,
wasn't
so yeah, it's like... hey, we want to talk this segment about Zelda's 35th anniversary.
Happy birthday,
Ooh, Mr. President.
Mr. Link.
Hey, what if you wrote in Link as... just wrote him in. You already voted, Matt, so you can't do that. But
Yeah, I already voted.
I just dropped my keyboard. It's fine. I wouldn't recommend
was
trying to
wondering what
spin
that
your
is.
keyboard on its corner while you're doing a podcast.
Oh my
It's just-
gosh.
I do what I want.
Yeah, that's very
Thanks.
professional.
Or you know what? No, I do recommend it. Why don't you do it and hit us up on Twitter at Free Play
No,
Podcast?
don't
Let me
do
know how
it.
goes.
You'll break your stuff.
So hey, you only turned 35 once, right? The
Yeah,
big
right,
35.
Matt?
Yeah, I've already been
Right-
there.
right,
Been
Matt?
Gone, here and gone, yeah. It was a good year.
I remember 35 like it was next year. It just
You're not that old, are you?
like it was next year.
Oh, next year.
Yeah.
You're 34.
This is how time works. Yeah.
Huh, weird.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Huh, interesting. Who knew?
Yeah. Math, am I right? Phew.
I didn't know.
She's not in a math program.
I thought
for
you might have been.
masters.
I thought you might have been younger.
Mathsters, yeah. But anyway, all that aside, we've got what we're going to be doing here is talking a little bit about our good friend
Long.
Well,
Zelda
Matt's good
and
friend.
Lonk. Yeah, is our good friend Zelda and her longtime boyfriend? Question mark. Link and their
Excuse
adventures
me,
together.
Princess.
When is the actual 35th anniversary, Matt?
What a
You-
great question.
I know. I should have prepared. I think it's like March or May. It's one because
okay.
the Mario stuff. I think they still.
I guess it really depends on if you're talking U.S. or if you're talking.
Well, okay, so it's far enough out that we
Japanese.
wouldn't know any details yet, but close enough that we can speculate.
Right. Yeah. It's coming soon-ish trademarked, and I think what most of us are
February 21st, 1986.
hoping, Happy birthday,
So-
Mr. President.
You're pretty
February.
close, dude.
Yeah, that's pretty.
I
Yeah.
remember like it was 35 years ago.
35 years.
I think what most of us are hoping for here is the release of Breath of the Wild 2. I feel like I'm going to go on a limb and I'm going to hope and I'm going to pray and say some penance and
Matt, that's a wasted prayer,
know,
man.
I know.
Like, what? Pray about something that.
Oh, come on. Let him have his one nice thing in
I
life.
just like
I mean, if you want to pray about something that only God can do, yes, pray about the release of
it's not gonna,
Breath of the
I
Wild.
know it's not going to happen here. It won't happen. But let's just suppose it doesn't. What would you all, Bubba, what would you like to see?
Here's what I think is going to happen. And this is what I think that they should do. I want to see a massive trailer for Breath of the Wild 2.
I think
I want
we'll
to
see
see
that.
everything that they've been working
How
on.
massive?
I want, dude, I want legit, I don't want this
I want like
30-second trailer. Yeah.
No, how about they do one of those little press conferences that they do that's like an hour?
Not interested in the
30
treehouse.
minutes?
I want
Not
the
interested in the
whole
treehouse.
shebang.
What do you mean? You don't want a treehouse thing about
Well, I mean,
Breath of the
eventually,
Wild
yeah, I'll
2?
take one. I want a whole like hour long of like I want to see the ins and outs of the game. Give me
Okay.
an hour long look through.
Okay.
What I think. Well, go ahead, Bubba. Let's go.
I was just saying I am not interested in the tree houses because I think that they always have they always put these people that ask really dumb questions.
Yeah.
And they
planted.
never really get to the nitty gritty. I would much rather see them on IGN, like on their podcast or something like that, like a live show, than in a Nintendo treehouse. Because I think I get the least amount of information from a Nintendo treehouse because they don't ask journalistic questions. They ask
You like games?
internal things.
You like Zelda?
Wait a second. This isn't Mario. Like they ask all the internal questions to try and make it look and feel the best that it possibly can, rather than like, I'm already going to buy it.
Yeah.
Like you
I
don't
can
have to
see
sell
that. I
me
see
on
that.
that. Like, I want to know, what are the improvements that you made from the last one
Right.
to this one? Is it going to carry over? What part of the story is this actually? Which is the most like that's the major question surrounding Breath of the Wild
Prequel.
2 is, where are we?
Post-quel.
You know, like maybe it'll help kind of like solidify where in time Breath of the Wild actually exists, on what timeline does it exist? Like all sorts of stuff.
See, the timeline thing, I'll say this real quick. The timeline thing is a construct of man. This is not something they wanted in the beginning. Whenever they put these games out, like, they just put the games out and then like the people were like, well, is this one going to be from before? Or is this one after that? And like, they're like, oh, you all want a timeline, huh? Well, here, these 3 games are all they're all the same, but then it can break off into 3 separate timelines.
Yeah.
Huh? What do you think of that?
Yeah.
This one's Link wins. This one Link dies. And this one Ganon wins. What do you think? No, like, I don't care about the timeline. Like, they're all fun games to play. If we do not get Breath of the Wild 2 stuff, what I foresee happening is a bundle, like a 3D All-Stars release.
Oh yeah.
Of what I think will happen. And I could be wrong. They'll probably do a
Zelda games.
Yeah, Zelda games.
No,
like a 64 game, a GameCube game, and a Wii game. And I'm not interested in Ocarina of Time.
So tell me what you want.
I would honestly.
They're listening, so make it specific.
Let's say they do it in that release order right there, because I'm guessing they'll probably put 3 together at least. I'm hoping for if they do a 64 game, Majora's Mask. I know you're not interested in that one, Bubba. That's fine. If I have to choose one between the 2, I would take Majora's Mask. I haven't seen it enough. How about that? I would then take.
I think there's a reason for that, but yeah, continue.
This next one's tough. Wind Waker is probably like my top 3 Zelda games of all time. So I would take Wind Waker for the GameCube game. If they gave me Twilight Princess, I wouldn't be angry. That'd be fine. For reasons I actually do, yes. Sad reasons. I'm going to give you my last reason. I'll go back.
Sad reasons.
Yeah. And the last one I'll say, Skyward Sword needs to be remade. The sad reasons for Wind Waker, I think I let my nephew borrow it. I'm like 95% sure.
Your ex-nephew.
I let him borrow my Wii U and all of my Zelda games. And when I finally got them back after a year, that one didn't return. With it, I was like, "Hey, you all have that Wind Waker game?" And they're like, "No, we never had it." And I was like, "Well, if you don't have it, I haven't seen it in like a year." So fast forward a little bit, we've been like, wanting to play it. So we bought it digitally on the Wii U. We get to a certain point in the game, and then there's a file corruption, and it will not let us play anymore.
That is sad.
So anyways,
you're right. That is sad.
I hope that it comes on the Switch, then I can actually play it. But Skyward Sword is probably my top desired game for a remastered edition. Skyward
Sword just makes the most sense for the Switch, and it absolutely has to come out. Like it just does. I mean, when you played Skyward Sword on the Wii U, and I'm saying when you played, I didn't play it. That was the one I totally completely skipped and missed. And the people have the most issue with that, but it's the one that like solidified the start of the timeline. The thing that you hate the most. It was
I
like
hate the most. I hate Link 2 the most. Let's get
like Skyward Sword. That's of the games that we have. That's the Genesis moment. That's when things start to really build up, and it's the first one in the series as far as the timeline goes, regardless of what timeline. That was like pre-split when they were all kind of in the same thing. But I think that just from a technology standpoint, from what I've understood, the Wiimote and the joystick and all that stuff, the nunchuck, it was not accurate enough, and like you just would get like exhausted trying to do everything.
So obnoxious. He would raise his sword whenever he wanted. He would bash his shield whenever he wanted. Like, I'm like not moving my hands, and he's like, ha ha ha. No, Link, no, stop it.
Oh my gosh.
Chill out, Link. Pumpkin.
Gosh.
Link Pumpkin.
Seriously.
And so like I think that like with just the advances in technology that we have with the Switch and the Joy-Cons, even if you were to play it in swing and beat 'em up mode, like you're going to be very accurate.
I would hope
very accurate. But even if you wanted to play rumble. The 3D HD Rumble. So even if you wanted to play with the Pro Controller, now you can, because inside of the Pro Controller there is a very like ridiculously accurate gyro inside of there.
It's almost like they're setting it up for use for Zelda games.
It was a bad idea to build an entire mainstream Zelda title around like that motion control.
Well, they've
Yes.
probably learned their mistake now.
Oh yeah, because they
I would hope so.
ran away from it. Like in Breath of the Wild, anyone?
Sort of.
I mean, like
they ran away from it, but now they're kind of back to it in a lot of regards.
I
They're at
think
least implementing it. Like they completely went away from it with most aspects of Breath of the Wild. Like you could still twist the controller for those certain puzzles.
with stasis and stuff like that. Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know.
but it's not gimmicky though. Like it's a
that's
part
true. It's a part of
of
it, yeah.
like, hey, you're gonna play this game normally, and then when you get to a platform stage where you need to turn the platform, that's when you.
It was
do that.
engaging the way that they did it. It wasn't annoying.
Oh, absolutely.
It wasn't irritating. It wasn't,
It was a mechanic.
buggy and whack. It was a workable mechanic.
Yeah.
I cheated in it, so don't worry.
Hey, that's fine.
Yeah, I just did my thing.
Absolutely.
I guess like whatever they release, I'll probably be satisfied with.
Oh, absolutely, you will.
I
Well,
will play
beggars
them.
can't be choosers, so you have
The
to.
only
absolutely
thing
can,
I even said I didn't want Ocarina of Time. Like if they remastered it,
You're gonna buy it.
I'll still buy it because like just having them all in one system would be great.
Yeah.
If they re-release Triforce Heroes, I'm not going to get on board with that. I will skip that one. That's one I'll skip.
but if they give you 4 swords,
I will be in for that one because I think that would be a lot of fun to play with people online, and I
Yep.
can see them doing that one.
or even locally.
Can
I
you
mean, like that.
can you get through 4 swords playing by yourself?
Yes,
Yeah, I think you take over the other 3.
they kind of
Oh,
move like in a line
Yeah.
with you. There's
It's
a
not as
couple.
fun.
No, there's a couple.
Well, because
other
I
Zelda games that do it.
tried it a long time ago, and I just didn't know if it was possible.
You still own it?
No.
Can you get it for me?
She lent it to your nephew. Yeah, so
No,
check with him.
I had it like Game Boy Advance stuff. Here's what I would like to see. I would like another chance with Wind Waker because
Okay. I accept.
growing up, my neighbors had a GameCube. We didn't have one because my mom's like, I'm not buying another. I'm not buying a thing.
Pretendo, yeah.
We're not going to have a game system in the house. So I'd go next door to play it, and I'd get, just at the beginning, get through some just very basic intro stuff. And then they'd be like, okay, Kate, you have to go home. And I'd be like, oh, okay. And I'd go home, and then they'd delete my game, and I'd have to
Of
come
course
back.
You're
they
gonna get
would.
us flagged.
Okay. That was only 10 seconds. I'm fine.
I'd come back, and I'd have to do it all again. So it's like I'd like a nice chance at it without anyone deleting the game.
Speedrun.
No, not a speed run, just normal basic decency of not deleting saved files.
Okay, so Wind Waker. What else?
I don't know. I'm not a
have
Zelda fanboy like Matt, so
Leave me be.
I don't know. But when I see it, then I'll decide.
Well,
Then
the
you'll
other one
know,
I would
yeah.
the other one I
Then
would
I'll
like
know.
would be Oracle of Ages and Oracle of Seasons. The
Uh-huh.
Game Boy Color, Game Boy
Yeah.
something Advanced, one of those ones. 'Cause
Color.
I've never been able to play those ones. I wouldn't be surprised if they did a remaster of either Minish Cap or Link Between Worlds because that game was really fun, and I don't think enough people played it.
Link Between Worlds and 4 Swords are kindred spirits. It's to me, it's a lot like Phantom Hourglass and Spirit Tracks. I think, and Oracle of Ages and Seasons.
Well,
I think
Link
that
Between Worlds is more of Link to the Past.
yeah,
They're all very similar. Yeah, it's kind of same veins.
Link to
Yeah.
the Past was good.
I don't want to see a
That
remaster.
might be
of
the-
Past.
I don't want to see it. I don't want it.
No, they
Well,
don't.
no,
need
got
it's
it.
it's too popular. You don't need it
They don't,
anymore.
you don't need to. That game is.
I mean, I already have it on the Switch.
Right, and I still enjoy it. Like I enjoy it immensely. Still, like they don't need to touch that game. Like it's still well done.
The only way that I would, this is how pretentious of me, the only way that I would take this game, but the way that I would want to see it is if they gave it a Link's Awakening treatment.
Okay.
I'd like to see that. I'd play it. I'd play it all the way through because I think that
That'd
would be
be
dope.
fun.
But
I don't think it'll
I think that
happen
that's
now.
a separate release. I do it during the 35 if you want to. I think that would be great. I think it's a waste when you have so many other great games like Oracle of Ages and Seasons that you could do that with. But
They're less available.
I'm going to be legit big mad if we see a Link to the Past because it's already out.
Yeah.
I'm going to give you my 3.
Okay.
All right.
I want Ocarina of Time, but I don't want the 64 edition. I want the Master Collection. I want the Master Quest, I think is what it was called. The one that you can only get on the GameCube Special Edition, Collector's Edition disc. Like, that's the one that I want. Where all of the dungeons are different.
It's so freaking hard, man.
Yeah.
That's
what I want.
So hard.
And with the Switch, like, you'll be able to play OG, Ocarina of Time, and switch to, Master Quest if you want to.
Sure.
And so, give me that. That's what I want. So that's number one. That's
Will you be
64
dedicated
area.
enough to make it through, though?
It'll take me a while. But honestly, I think that those are great games to stream, and I think that people will want to watch that because, like, a lot of people will want to watch you stream that stuff just to help you get through it.
Yes,
there's so much about those games I don't remember.
Yeah,
so much
true.
about them. So that's my one from the 64 era because I think that it's if we're doing like a 3D All Stars kind of comparison here, the next one for me is Twilight Princess, and I skipped over Wind Waker. I do want Wind Waker. Don't hear me say I don't. I've not had a chance to play Wind Waker. I didn't have it on GameCube. I've not played it. I want it. I hear so many great things about it. I want to play that game. But like the whole Toon Link era, I just missed it. It passed me by. Yeah, we were two ships passing in the night. Wind Waker and I. See what I did there? I want Twilight Princess. And I know that we've already had an HD remake of Twilight Princess, but again, I do not think that if you release it on the Wii U, it counts as a game that exists in
I completely agree.
world. Because the Wii U was just kind of a terrible selling console.
Yeah.
The Wii sold like gangbusters. The Wii U did not have the sales. Not to say that they didn't sell any, but anyway,
I have one.
I know that you do. I was actually about to mention that. One of the only ones I've actually seen in the wild is at Matt Warmbier's house.
Oh,
I
my.
need a battery.
But I want to see Twilight Princess. It's a game that I had on Wii. I never beat it, and I want to. I thought it was a really interesting concept, and I think it progresses the story in an interesting way.
It's really
It's a
good.
great game. Great game. And then last but not least, Skyward Sword. Just easily, hands down. That's the third one that needs to be on it.
Yes, please.
Remastered.
Yeah. Yeah. So those are the three that I think need to come out. Also, just kind of in the vein of some of the similar things that they've done with Mario for his 35th birthday, is I would like to see kind of a speed run like they did the Mario 35 game kind of thing. I'd like to see that. With just OG Legend of Zelda. I don't want to play Link to the Past. I want to play OG Legend of Zelda speedrun stuff. Like let's get back to the nitty gritty. Dance with the girl that brought you, kind of a deal. Yeah. And I think the only other thing that I would be interested in, well, there's like 100 other things. But the only other thing is I want a Legend of Zelda maker.
No, like a dungeon builder.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I want to be able to
dungeon.
I want to be able to share things, and I want it to have the crossovers that Super Mario Maker has as well.
That's the thing. I'm just nervous they're gonna like.
I want Goombas. I want turtle shells.
Don't be nervous. Just pray about it, like you were gonna earlier.
I want Bowser as a boss in Legend of Zelda Dungeon. Like I legit, I want them to take what they did with Super Mario Maker and just flip everything.
Yeah. I don't want to be a downer.
Okay.
But
interesting start. Yeah.
But I think Breath of the Wild 2,
Electric Boogaloo,
Legend of Zelda,
Master Quest,
Mario Maker, whatever. I think those could be 40th anniversary things.
Ouch!
Get
40?
out of here! I won't be able to play games when I'm 40.
Yeah, nobody's gonna care.
I'm just saying, 40th anniversary. That's 5 more years.
I don't want it in 5 years.
No, I want it now.
Yeah, but you know that Nintendo takes forever to do all this stuff, and they keep it all hush hush and don't say jack squat about I don't know.
We'll post date this podcast to 10 years ago. And
I'm really hoping, Matt, for your sake, that it's not the 40th anniversary. I hope you get everything that you want this year and next year. But
I legit, I think that Breath of the Wild 2, we're looking at a 2022.
Get out of here right now. How do you boot from this? Can you do it?
No,
I'm sorry.
It's being realistic, and you have to prepare yourself.
No.
Yeah.
I don't accept that.
I'm preparing Jack.
Yeah, I don't accept that.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know what to tell you.
You heard me.
Like I said, I wish the best for you. But
they're gonna make me buy a Switch Grande or whatever they call it.
Yeah,
Venti Switch.
Yeah, Venti.
Please.
Oh, jeez. Well, you know what? To not be a downer, maybe you'll get some cool stuff that you like in February. I'm excited
maybe you
for
get
you.
some Link Meebos.
Maybe you get something that you're excited about.
I'm just I want to keep my expectations low because they've done Link and Zelda. Their anniversary is wrong. The past few big ones. I feel like they haven't given them very much. And Mario, they're
I don't feel like
Mario. You like stuff? You like Mario stuff? Here's everything. We're gonna give you Animal Crossing T-shirts with Mario. No, I don't like that one.
Well, too bad.
I mean, I actually would take that one. Yeah,
you absolutely would.
Well, I guess we'll find out. This is not too far out, and we can revisit it and see how disappointed you were.
Just because it's in February doesn't mean that they're going to release it in February. I think that there's going to be a Nintendo Direct in early 2021 that will kind of announce some of these things that are coming, but we won't see it until probably summer,
Christmas, holiday. 2021.
Hey, maybe you'll get like a Legend of Zelda Labo
Snuggie,
where you can like build a shield and
No.
Yeah, you could take that to the youth events as dressed as a squirrel.
Snuggie.
Yeah. You give me a Luigi body pillow or you give me nothing at all. Thank you very much. Yeah. Well, hey, those are some of our ideas and we want to hear from you. Like what would you want to see as a part of the 35th anniversary for our good friend Lonk and his girlfriend Zelda? And let us know. Hit us up on Twitter at FreePlayPodcast. Maybe, Matt, we get some more CDI cartoons.
I hope so.
I'd be here for that. Or Zelda World.
Or a TV series, a live action.
Yes, live action TV series on the Netflix. I'd be down for any of that, honestly.
We'll see.
I just want Nintendo. I want Nintendo to care like we care
about Zelda,
because legit, I'm going to be real. I care where I can say words well and good at the same time.
Keep trying.
I care way more about The Legend of Zelda than I do Super Mario.
Thank you.
I do.
Thank you.
I do.
That's all I needed to hear. All right, podcast over. We're done here.
I have fun with Mario. I really do. But I care way more about The Legend of Zelda. So give it to me. Hey, you know what didn't win Game of the Year? Super Mario Odyssey.
Boom, roasted.
Yeah. Anyway, hey, let us know in the comments on Twitterverse or wherever you find this podcast at Free Play Podcast would be a great place to start on Twitter. What you want to see for Zelda's 35th. Yeah, go back 10 years and let us know on Twitter. Their 35th anniversary, their birthday, however you want to look at that, coming up next year. We got a whole 6 months to kind of just dream a little bit. So let us know. Hit us up on the Twitterverse. But we're going to take a quick break. And when we come back, we're going to close out the show. We're going to share a pretty funny story. You're going to want to come back and hear about that. Matt is going to tell you how his chiropractic appointment went. And how he's a better person because of it. Hey, all that and more right here on LTN Radio. So sit back, hear a couple of great songs, some sweet tunes, some witchcrafty, waves on the wave runner there of the internet. And we'll be back with more Free Play podcasts right here after this podcast on LTN Radio.
I can't believe this game is still going on. It's 2 a.m. What if someone gets hurt? And the police come, they'll think I'm a bad dean. There's classes in the morning. This has to stop.
Put me in the game, because I'll take everyone out. I play paintball 3 times a week, bro.
But it wouldn't be fair. You're not a student.
But you can change that, can't you? Huh? Enroll me in a class.
What are your interests?
Arts and crafts.
Oh, I
Yeah.
do watercolors.
Cool.
In the 23rd episode of the first season of Community, we see Dean Pelton and Senor Chang waiting for this game of Paintball Assassin to end after it's gotten so far out of hand and blown way out of proportion. And it's gotten to the point where they're thinking of taking some drastic measures. Kinda sounds like what we're living in now, right? Truthfully, it's crazy that what started as 15 days to slow the spread back in March has become, months long. Now the year's almost over. And couple that with the protests and the riots and the election, we are feeling more divided than ever. Even over a simple thing like, should we have to wear a mask?
We turn on each other like animals.
Frankly, we're all praying for the end of 2020 to come quickly, but really, there's no guarantee that all of this garbage doesn't continue on into next year. We don't know when this is going to end, and that lack of knowledge is driving us crazy. What it comes down to is worry. We're worried that life will never get back to the way it was. We're worried about catching the virus, and we're worried that racial division is never going to cease. So much worry with no timeline ahead of us to give us any kind of hope of an ending. But the psalmist reminds us in Psalm 46, verses 9 through 11, he makes wars cease to the ends of the earth. He breaks the bow and shatters the spear. He burns the chariots with fire. Be still and know that I am God. I will be exalted among the nations. I will be exalted in the earth. The Lord of hosts is with us. The God of Jacob is our fortress. It's only natural to be afraid right now. It's only natural to worry about the state of our nation, the state of our world. But in reality, if you're a believer, God is telling you He's taking care of things in His own time. Just be still and know that He is there, He is God, and He is in control. And the more we remind ourselves of that fact, the easier it will be to let the days pass without struggling with anger, worry, and fear. Until one day, this stuff is finally all over. On a date,
Well, welcome
TBD.
back to the Free Play Podcast here on LTN Radio. You can find us online.
Catch a new Back Row Binge Watch every Monday on the Back Row Morning
or
Show,
you can just
exclusively
pull up
on
the old
LTN
Live
Radio.
365 app and search for LTN Radio. And as always, you can catch us syndicated on anywhere you listen to podcasts. Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Play. I guess it's Google Podcast now.
It's Google-
Coker told
Google.
me it's changed.
Google.
Yeah, Google. Just the old Google.
Google.
But anyway, we're going to close out the show. Matt, you went to the chiropractor for the first time.
And it was wonderful. She cracked my bones.
These old weary bones.
It honestly wasn't what I was expecting. I know, Bubba, you tried to explain what was going on, but until I got there, it didn't make sense to me. I thought she was gonna twist my body backwards and put me in the torture rack or
Absolutely.
But she put me on this table and she'd lift up sections on the table and then she'd let them drop suddenly while she was pushing. It was super weird. It was ka-chunk,
I've never seen
ka-chunk. And let me lift up this part and ka-chunk. So she cracked my hip and then she got to my neck and she noticed I had this vertebrae out of place. It was basically sideways is what she said. So she used this actuator that's kind of like the size of a pen, I guess, but with this little piston thing that punches out of it. It honestly reminds me, those you squeeze it and it scissors to a punching boxing glove. It kind of reminded me a little bit what was going on there, but it was in my neck.
I was trying to anticipate what you were talking about.
So she punched your neck with a pen and it went back into place.
Back into place. And
My main question in all of this, just real quick before I need a clarifying question answered. Are you sure she wasn't just clicking a pen?
No, it was you could feel it going a.
Did you have Aaron check for ink on your neck?
No, I checked myself.
There were some.
But I can't feel that vertebrae anymore. I could before, and now
is it there?
Oh,
yeah, it's lined up. Straight.
You could feel it.
I could feel it. I could feel it was right on the side of my neck. It was you could tell
gross.
It was really firm and a bone.
Did you ever try pushing it in with a pen yourself?
No, I pushed it in with my fist. It didn't work.
Did you get one of those clickety clacks?
So
just pound,
here's
pound.
What everyone's dying to know is
Oh, yeah. Sorry. Didn't mean to bury the lead.
Sorry. I didn't like read it verbatim. Like I glanced over.
You didn't have your phone out and read it. Hi, my name is Matt Warmbier.
I was sitting in the corner waiting for her.
Vertebratum,
It was like I read through it and I was like, just make sure I mention these things here. And I mean, here I am today. I'm feeling like $1 million hairs.
Brand new man.
Oh man,
I'm happy for you.
My back's not cracking like crazy. That's pretty good.
Well, what's the point then?
I don't know. What is the point?
What's your purpose in life?
Better getting punched in the neck with a pen. So I go back in a couple weeks, just kind of like, check up, make sure everything is staying in place. She said I have a very strong frame. So, I mean, I feel pretty like that.
Did you show her the ring? Sorry, lady. Not today, Satan.
A strong frame.
A strong frame, please. I don't know. So good.
Ooh, do you work out? You've got a strong frame.
No, she told me I need to have more calcium or magnesium because my muscles are starved for it.
They're
Isn't
atrophying?
calcium for your bones?
Did she say they're atrophying?
No, she didn't say anything about atrophy.
Atrophy.
She didn't say nothing about my
You've
bones.
got a strong frame, but your muscles are trash.
Yeah, they're screaming for magnesium. Hook them up.
You know what? You need to eat some like mangoes.
Nah, don't do it.
Those are good for you.
It's a trap.
I want to keep my jaw intact. Thank you.
Yeah. Jawbone's connected.
Yeah, so
to
I'll
that.
be going back in a few weeks, and I'll keep everyone posted. Here's hoping for the best.
What do you think she's going to do at your follow up?
Crack my hip? I don't know. Crack my bones.
Crack the other side.
Crack the other side.
When you say cracked your hip, like show me on the doll, like where.
I'd like lay on my back and then do like this move and put my legs together, and she like kneeled me sideways.
He's crossing his arms right now.
Yeah, put my legs kind of sideways and push me, kind of like you like would turn your chair.
Yeah.
But then she used her hands to push.
That's how I do it for myself, and it always makes Anna want to vomit.
Well, it usually cracks my back, not my hips.
Oh, I can crack lower back.
Well, you're
like
weird.
In the hip.
Well,
yeah.
You know what?
Hips.
You need a foam roller. All of you need a foam roller.
I'll look into
I think
them
I'll
next
get
time.
myself
I
one.
want the wheel one that goes on my back.
Yes, I'm not interested in a foam roller. I want the wheel.
Yeah, the wheel's expensive.
The wheel on the bus. Yeah.
Next week when I go to my chiropractor, Dr. Romeo, as you may remember,
Romeo.
I'll ask him about it. I want one of those.
If he wants to be a sponsor, just like.
Please.
We got enough listeners in that area. Like it's fine.
Go see Dr. Romeo for all your bone cracking needs.
Active spine and sports care. Go.
Active spine and sports care, Dr. Romeo.
I kind of like that.
By the pizza place.
By the pizza place.
Yeah, you had a good thing and you kind of ruined it.
And KFC. That's how you'll know you're there.
That's it. If you hit the KFC, you've gone too far.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I still need to go to the Cairo. I've never been. I want to go.
I guess so.
Check it out.
You
my bucket
should go
list.
because of your back problem that you had.
Yeah, my back is.
You should definitely go. I'm the youngest one here, and I'm going to the chiropractor.
Okay,
but you throw your knee out standing up.
Yeah.
Like,
no, sitting down and it's
sitting. Sorry, one of the two.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Don't worry
but we're all starting to live a more sedentary lifestyle. So
we are.
Well, that's why I keep standing up.
Yeah. Every now and again, Matt will just disappear or lose his head like he did just now when he stood up.
What?
Oh, man. What did you just plug in? What was... Oh, your controller.
Oh, he's not wearing podcast pants today. He's wearing real pants.
Well, Matt has to work today. Yeah.
Oh, that's right. You have a meeting any second now.
He's like a big boy with a big boy job. Yeah. Well, hey, you know what? I think that's going to do it for this episode of the Free Play Podcast. I feel like we've said all the things we need to say, and now we're talking about Matt's pants. So
that'll definitely do it.
If that's not a natural conclusion to the podcast, I don't know what is. But hey, thanks for hanging out with us on this episode 105 of the Free Play Podcast here in Season 3. Be sure to check us out on SoundCloud, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, Google Play, YouTube, radio.com, really anywhere else that you find syndicated podcasts. Or you can head on over to lovethynerd.com/freeplay and you can listen to the latest episode and all of our previous episodes right there and subscribe to Kate's favorite thing, the RSS feed, right there on the podcast page.
Oh.
She's always talking about that RSS feed. Just
I don't even know how to work it.
How we doing on that RSS? We still got it stuff.
We're doing great.
Also, like I said 100,000 times, because I think it bears repeating, we are now on a radio station. LTN has a radio station that is bumping tunes 24 hours a day. You can find it online at ltnonair.com, or you can go to lovethynerd.com and click LTN Radio at the top of the page. Or if you're on mobile, hit the hamburger menu and hit LTN Radio when it pops up in the menu there. I think it's great. And to me, it's like, it's so cool to just be listening. And then, Coker comes on and he's like, you're listening to LTN Radio. Like, to me, that's just like one of the coolest things in the world. Like,
that's pretty cool.
It really is. And I want you guys to be a part of it. I want you to listen to it because it's dope. We've got a lot of really cool things that are going on all week long. On Thursdays, I think it's at sometime PM exactly. We have an 80s night that's sponsored by the LTN Discord channel. And so Matt Warmbier, this one right here, Warmbier, has put together an 80s playlist that plays on our radio station, which I think is really freaking cool.
Warmbier.
DJ Warmbier.
In the house.
In your house, or your car, or wherever you are.
Wherever I am.
And we also, one other thing I think is really cool is on Sunday mornings, Drew is doing our Bible thump, and that's like a 15 to 20 minute study on something from a Christian perspective, from the Bible. And we don't do a lot of that. Honestly, we want to create kind of a safe space where anybody can come and hang out with us. But we're very intentional on Sunday mornings. We've got, Drew that's hitting us there with the Bible thump. And then also, we've got just like a worship block, like 1 hour of worship music, where if you don't have a church or you need a, refresher from your church because maybe you're not getting what you need there, you can come and hang out on the radio station, ltnonair.com, for an hour or 2 hours and just kind of spend that time with God. And we want to give you that time to do that. And I'm excited about that. I think it's really cool. I think it's really awesome. And I want you guys to come and experience that. And then for the rest of the time, you're just going to hear music you legit probably are not going to hear almost anywhere else, especially not on any other Christian radio station. That's for dang sure. But again, hang out with us, ltnonair.com. It's still really fresh, really new, and you guys are blowing it up. We've seen the numbers, and it is